Feel like your website is being ignored when it comes to search engines? Like you've created a ton of really good, solid content, and yet you're still not ranking where you want to be? The issue probably has to do with one thing: backlinks. In this video, I'll be walking you through how you can use Semrush to not only get more backlinks, but better ones. Because quality over quantity, my friend. Yes. More specifically, we're going to be identifying backlink opportunities with Semrush in 3 ways. First, through broken backlink building using the domain overview tool, then using Semrush's link building tool to find and reach out to relevant websites, and finally exploring Semrush's backlink gap tool. Before we dive into the good stuff, let's first take a step back and define what the heck a backlink is. Backlinks are essentially links that point from other websites back to your own website. Now, why does that even matter? Because there are a ton of websites on the internet, and search engines like Google want to be able to showcase to their users the best solution to whatever they typed into the search bar. But how can search engines know which websites have the best information? Aside from having good content and relevant keywords, Google takes a look at how many backlinks a website has pointing back to it. They're a known and important ranking factor. Google has even confirmed this. Backlinks are kind of like votes of confidence in the website itself, like a digital word of mouth recommendation that Google can actually track. The more backlinks, aka votes, a website has, the more helpful or authoritative Google finds that website. Because think about it, you would never really link back to a website that you don't think will be helpful to your people, right? That would be like recommending a bad plumber to your grandma. You just wouldn't do that. You'd only give your grandma the contact information of plumbers you trust. Backlinks operate in a very similar way. Let's say we had website A with 10 million backlinks pointing to it, and website B with only 10 backlinks pointing to it. Which one would you trust? Probably website A. Therefore, for your own website, getting a link from website A to your own website would be worth a lot more than getting a link from website B. Because website A naturally carries more votes behind it. Getting a backlink from them would mean that you have a super highly trusted website pointing back to you. A website with high authority score. So to summarize all of this, if you get a link from a trustworthy website, that must mean that your website must be super trustworthy and credible too. Amazing. Okay, so backlinks matter, but how do you actually get them? I got you. Semrush has got you. We have the tools for that, so stick with me here. The first one that we're going to explore is Semrush's domain overview tool, because it includes several important features related to backlinks. In the left-hand menu under competitor research, click domain overview. Now you can start here by putting in your own website's URL to get an overview. But for the sake of this tutorial, let's pretend we're a brand new website that sells organic, all-natural pet food and toys. And because we're brand new and just launched this morning, we know we don't have any backlinks yet. So let's dive into one of our big brand competitors, Chewy.com. I always like to open up a new tab and put my competitor's URL in just to make sure and double check I have the correct URL. Yep, that's correct. So we're gonna snag this URL and put it into the domain overview tool and then click search. As you can see here, and can probably tell by the name, this tool is really helpful at getting a bird's eye view of this URL. What their domain authority score is, how much monthly organic search traffic they're getting from Google, and if they're running Google ads, you'll see how much traffic they're getting from those as well, along with the number of backlinks the website has. If you scroll down a little bit, you will also be able to see their search engine traffic broken down by country, along with some cute little graphs to see how things have been chugging along for them over a period of time. And then there are these little toggles at the top to be able to switch the view from organic to paid data. Since we're talking about SEO though, we're gonna focus on organic traffic. So let's keep it toggled on the organic option. Now keep scrolling on this report and you'll see more widgets that kind of break down a bunch of factors when it comes to their organic search traffic and keywords. Since we are primarily chatting about backlinks though, we're gonna scroll back up and dive into some specific tools to break down this stuff even more. At the top left is the website's authority score, which is an overall measurement of how strong a site's ranking power is. It's based on backlinks, aka the digital word of mouth votes that we chatted about previously, as well as a couple of other factors. Then over to the right are the backlink metrics. This shows the raw number of backlinks, and below that, it shows the number of referring domains, which is how many different websites those backlinks are coming from. Now, a quick note here, because this was confusing to me when I first started exploring backlinks. Getting more than one backlink from a single website is totally okay. In fact, it can be really helpful. But generally speaking, a higher number of referring domains is usually more important than a higher number of individual backlinks. To dive deeper into any of these things, you can click on either one of these metric options to drill down a little bit more into the data. And yes, if this is your first time looking at this stuff, it can feel wildly overwhelming. But the more you explore and click around, the more you will get used to it, I promise. Now, for the sake of this walkthrough though, let's click on this big blue backlinks number to see the full Backlink Analytics report. The Backlinks tab of this report gives us some new information about the links pointing to the Chewy website. These numbers right here are the same numbers we saw on the previous screen. And then we see the backlink type section, which breaks down what kind of content is actually linking back to this website. Text links are simply hyperlinks within text. These are the most common forms of links on the internet. Image links are simply images that have hyperlinks embedded in them. Form links are hyperlinks sent via search bar or other elements that users can modify by entering text. And frame links are hyperlinks embedded in HTML frames, which are dividers in your browser window that separate areas of HTML. Now, these types of links are not as common as text or image links. Notice the numbers for form and frame are really low. So those elements aren't usually linked, but it's just good information to know. Next, we have the link attributes section here on the right, which shows follow, no follow, sponsored, and UGC. These are important to understand, so let's break them down. Follow links are just regular hyperlinks. No follow links look like normal links to users, but if you look at the HTML, they will include a no follow attribute, just like this one. Google recommends using no follow, quote, where you want to link to a page but don't want to imply any type of endorsement. The no follow tag basically tells Google not to count this link as a vote for the site it's pointing to. So it's like telling your grandma, hey grandma, here's the list of 3 plumbers that I found when I was driving around town that might be able to help, but to be honest, I've never really worked with any of them, so I'm not sure about their reputation. But you can totally call and find out more information. Most website building platforms allow you to add a no follow tag to links pretty easily. If not, you can always hard code it into the HTML. If you're wondering, do no follow links improve your domain authority score like getting a regular old follow link? Kinda, but mostly not really. Google has said that it still considers no follow links to be hints, but they aren't weighted as heavily as regular follow links, so they're less valuable when it comes to getting backlinks for SEO purposes. For example, the comments section of most blogs automatically adds the no follow attribute to all outbound links. Or the blog might add the UGC attribute, which Google treats similarly to no follow. Why? Well, Google is trying to avoid comment spam. Making the links in comments no follow helps Google to have a little bit more quality control over analyzing backlinks. Lots of large websites also no follow their outbound links by default, especially big publication websites that have many contributors, like Wikipedia and Forbes. This helps reduce the number of people trying to write for them for backlink building purposes only. It's also important to no follow any links that were paid for. You can do this either using the no follow attribute or the sponsored attribute, which Google treats similarly. This is important because Google has strict policies against paid links that are left as regular follow links. Google considers buying or selling any links for ranking purposes to be link spam, and websites that engage in link spam can be severely penalized, including potentially being removed from Google search results entirely, which is what we 1000% want to avoid, like the plague. This is why it's never a good idea to buy cheap backlinks from most of the link building services or freelancers you see online. Those backlinks will pretty much always be worthless, and they may get you penalized. So when it comes to looking at this link attributes section of the backlinks report, you can see how many of the links are followed, and then how many are instead marked as no followed, sponsored, or UGC, all of which carry less weight with Google. That's a lot of information about link attributes, and your brain might be turning to mush right now because that's just a lot to hold. But as I mentioned before, this is all very important context, so I had to break it down so you can understand the why. All in all, when it comes to trying to get more backlinks to your website, remember these 2 things. First, try to get follow links if possible from websites that make sense for your industry or niche. Second, Do not pay for them. And if you're wondering, but how does looking at my competitors' backlinks help me get backlinks to my website? We're gonna dive into that, I promise. We just have to understand the actual data that we're looking at first, and then we'll get into some fun tactics for getting backlinks to your website. If we scroll down a bit, we can now see the actual links that are linking back to the Chewy website. Right here, we have AS, which stands for authority score, AKA how authoritative we think this page that's linking back to the Chewy website is. Then we can see the page title and URL that's linking back to Chewy, the number of times/links that the specific page is linking, along with the anchor text and page URL that this link is directing people to on the Chewy website. The anchor text of a link is simply the text that is actually linked from. Sometimes it's just the URL of the page it's pointing to, like this. Other times it just says click here. And then sometimes the anchor text will say something descriptive about the page it's linking to, like Semrush homepage, with the link being the link to the Semrush homepage. Anchor text matters because Google uses it to determine what a page is about. If your web page is targeting the keyword best dog food and it gets a bunch of backlinks that say best dog food or related phrases like dog food and Purina dog food, those links are basically telling Google that your page is relevant for those keywords. So essentially, when it comes to backlinks, as you can tell, there is a lot more under the surface than just getting links back to your website. If it was that simple, it would honestly be that simple. But it's also about giving search engines like Google more context clues about what your page and website are about in an honest way that helps showcase that you are the best solution to whatever it is the user is searching for on Google. Now for the fun part. Getting more and better backlinks to your own website. There are so many different ways to do this. Some are effective and some not so much. Some also take more time than others. So I will say getting backlinks to your website is a process. It's not an overnight thing. This is something that you should prioritize over time consistently, not just one and done. The first way to generate more backlinks to your website is broken link building. With broken link building, you find links on other websites that are pointing to a page that got removed or deleted. In other words, a website has links that are broken because the links point to an error page, like this. So you can find those broken links and you reach out to the owner of the website and ask them to link to your website instead. Why would a website owner decide to link to your website? That feels super random, doesn't it? Well, because you probably don't know them or don't have a relationship with them, but that doesn't matter. This works because website owners don't want to have a bunch of broken links on their website. It's a bad user experience, and having too many broken links on a website can actually negatively impact their own SEO. It also doesn't take a lot of effort for them to fix those broken links by pointing them to your site instead, as long as you give them a relevant option to link to, of course. It's a win-win-win tactic, honestly. A win for their audience because they're getting a better website experience, a win for the website owner because their website is operating more effectively, and of course, a win for you because, of course, a backlink. But scouring through the web to find broken links will take you years, if not centuries. So don't do that. Instead, I highly recommend that you use Semrush. We have a tool that makes this pretty simple. On the left-hand menu, under Link Building, click on Backlink Analytics to open up the Backlink Analytics tool. Add your competitor's URL and click Analyze. You'll initially be taken to the Overview tab, but we want to get over to the Indexed Pages tab, and then check the Broken Pages box at the top here. Now you are going to see a list of broken pages on this site, sorted by the number of domains that are linking to them. Every one of them can be a potential broken link building opportunity. So you can essentially start looking at these links and try to guess based on the title and the URL what kind of content was on that page, and then see if you have any pages on your own website that would make sense for these links to point to instead. If you don't have a page currently that makes sense, maybe you can build a new page that would. Of course, some of them just won't make sense at all. Like if the broken link is to a login page like this. We wouldn't be a good fit for a broken link when someone is looking to get into the Chewy login page for their account. So when you're doing this, just make sure to really think about it and see if it makes sense for you and your website or not. So we'll use this one, for example, because it seems like it was maybe pointing to a roundup blog post for holiday products for pets, and we can definitely create that. So we're just gonna open up the link just to make sure, and yep, this looks like a roundup blog post. So here's a little trick. We can use the find shortcut Command F, Control F to search for the anchor text listed here. So for this one, it's holiday shop, and bam, we just found the broken link right here. Now we can find the contact information for the website itself and reach out via email, social media, or contact form to tell them about the broken backlink and how they may want to fix it by pointing to our page instead. As you can see from this website alone, there are a lot of broken links out there, so this can be a pretty effective way to build backlinks to your site. Now, another way you can build backlinks with Semrush is with the link building tool. This tool makes it super easy to find and reach out to lots of relevant websites with different types of link requests via email. Start by clicking on the link building tool on the left navigation menu. Enter your own domain, but since we don't have one for our brand new fake pet website, let's just keep rolling with chewy.com and then click Start Link Building. A box is gonna pop up and automatically fill with some keywords it thinks you might care about. These ones right off the bat are pretty awful. So I'm gonna delete those and then add a couple that make more sense, like pet supplies, organic dog food, organic cat food, pee pads for dogs, and natural cat toys. Then I am going to click the keywords button here to go to the competitors list. These look good, so we're just gonna continue and click Start Link Building. It will take a few minutes to collect and analyze the data, and then it will show you a list of prospects. These are websites that are currently linking to your competitors and/or ranking for the keywords that you choose. In other words, these are websites that you might be able to get some relevant backlinks from. In the table, we can use the domain name, URL, and a quick snippet of what the page is about, along with what kind of URL it is, the authority score of that URL, and then a rating of how good a fit Semrush thinks this option might be for you. When reviewing this, always open up the link and view the website to double check the type of content it has on it. Because sometimes these are really good ideas and sometimes, honestly, they're not. If you end up viewing this site and you think it could potentially be a decent fit, you can click on the blue button next to any of these to add them to your in-progress list. You can add as many as you want. If you think any of them are not good, you can just click on the trash can and delete them. Once you have a few that you want to explore more, you can pop over to the In Progress tab and it lists them out for you. In the Outreach Strategy column, click the down arrow to see the different types of outreach strategies you might use. The one you choose will fill out an email template for you based on that strategy. For example, the directory/catalog option is for asking to be added to a directory style page. And the guest post option lets you ask them if you can write a guest post for their blog, since guest posts usually come with a link back to the author's website. Let's click on the guest post option, then click on contact. Okay, now this part is magic. This shows you the email addresses of some contacts Semrush automatically found for the website. It also has some placeholders, which are variables you can use to add domains or URLs to your email automatically instead of having to manually type them in over and over again. And then it also has some very basic placeholder language in the subject line and email body that you can definitely replace. In this case, we might use a subject line like, "Do you accept guest posts?" And then in the email body, say something like this. Then you can save it as a template to use it again and again. And you can send the email directly from here with the green button below. Semrush makes it super easy to do this over and over again for a lot of different websites. And then the last way to get backlinks using Semrush that we're gonna dive into in this video is by using one of my favorite tools of all time, the Backlink Gap tool. This helps you identify the websites that are linking to your competitors, but not to you. So in the left-hand corner, click on Backlink Gap under Competitive Research. You can pop your domain in there along with one or a few of your competitors. For this example, we're just gonna put in chewy.com and petco.com. Okay, then we're gonna click Find Prospects. When you scroll down, you're gonna see a table with URLs. It will automatically be sorted by best, meaning domains that point to all your competitors but not to your domain. So we'll start by scoping these out. When you see a domain that seems interesting, you can click on the arrow all the way over to the right under your competitor's domain name, and that will drop down more information on which page this URL is linking to on your competitor's websites. So on petinsurance.com, we can see that they have a blog post about declawing cats, where they are linking to a product on Petco's website, but have since removed that link altogether. So this might be an opportunity to reach out to the owner or webmaster at petinsurance.com and suggest your website or page or product as a good solution for that page. This tool overall is just a great way to find things like comparison pages, list posts, and directories where you can get your site added to a list of others in your industry, or be able to see broken link opportunities like this one. There we have it, my friends, the ins and outs of getting started with generating backlinks for your website. Now, I know this stuff can be super overwhelming and there's a lot of data to explore, but just remember what I said previously. Getting backlinks and increasing your domain authority with Google takes time. It is a process. It is not a one-time thing. So allow yourself the time to explore the tactics I dove into in this video and use the helpful tools that Semrush has. And if you want to dive deeper into getting backlinks, check out the free content-led SEO course on Semrush Academy. You're going to learn even more applicable strategies that include gaining backlinks by creating different forms of content and more. I left a link to that free course in the video description below. And if you have any questions about what I walk through in this video or questions about Semrush in general, pop those in the comments and we will do our best to help. That's it for now. See you next time.